Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we're here to talk about Tarot Every Which Way Unlock the Power of the Cards for Spellcraft and Magic by Lilith Dorsey, with a foreword by Silver Ravenwolf. This book is basically, this is like a comprehensive guide to magic correspondences with the tarot deck. So, what you have in here are connections to animals, astrology, crystals, herbs. She gives you recipes. There's a music note for some of the cards. You get crafts, ways to make charms, ways to make oils that are aligned with the energies of the tarot cards. So that's what's in this book, and it's all kind of compact into one 250 page guide. Let me see what we have, how many pages we have here. 273 pages. So it's pretty decent. I enjoyed reading it. I read it and I enjoyed it. Now I am not super witchy. So for me, a lot of this stuff felt very new and interesting. It was interesting to read because I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I don't practice witchcraft. So it wasn't something that I knew. But I feel like if you have been studying witchcraft, that a lot of this stuff may be stuff you already know. It could just be a nice thing to have it all in one place rather than in various books. So let's take a look. So here's our table of contents. We start out with the introduction, and then she talks about, kind of what the inspiration from this book came from. Then you go through each of the there's a chapter for each of the major arcana, and then you get a chapter for each of the minor suits. So one chapter per suit. So the major arcana get their own chapters, and then the suits get their own chapters. And then you get some information about choosing your deck and some ideas about decks. You get your cards and you, altars and shrines, herbs and gardens. And this is all information about how to make a shrine and a herbs garden and what kinds of herbs to put in there. And these are like how to's. And then there's some questions and spreads. And in the end, there's some recommended reading, a bibliography. And the contributor biographies was an interesting section because as she went through this book, she interviewed some people and she quoted them in the book. And in the back, she has biographies of all the people that she quoted. So that was cool. Here is sort of like a table of contents specifically for the spells and recipes. Every chapter for that is about cards, is about tarot cards, has a spell or a recipe. So you can look them up here based on what they are. So you can look them up based on magical, culinary, and then there's like, you can see here it says the Fool, the Empress, the High Priestess. So they're in the order of how, of the spells and recipes, and you can look them up that way. So that's nice. You can find the pages pretty easily rather than having to. And then here are the spreads. This is a table of contents for the spreads. So you have a quick list, which is nice. I haven't seen that before in a book, but I enjoy that. I like that. I like having various table of contents. It makes it very easy to use this as a reference book, which I think is what it's meant to be used for. Her introduction, she talks about how she wanted to make a book for all different types of witches. And she says that there are those who identify as water witches, fire witches, green witches, kitchen witches, herbal witches, house witches, hedge witches, eclectic witches, art witches, and she goes on and on. And she actually goes through and describes what all of these are and the energies that they work with and stuff. It was very interesting for someone like me to read who didn't know about a lot of that stuff. And then she talks about exploring the tarot in different ways and how her inspiration for writing this book was to make a book that explored the tarot over those various types of witchcraft so that any person can pick up the book that practices any different type of witchcraft and find something in it that correlates with the tarot. Now she says she's initiated priestess of New Orleans voodoo and a long time practitioner of hoodoo. And then she's also an anthropologist and a plant scientist. So that's where her background is coming from. Lilith Dorsey has been in this community for decades, and she has decades of experience to offer up. And you can tell when you're reading this book, but I like the way that she writes because it's very easy to read. the book has been researched, and she's interviewed people, and she has bibliography, and she has footnotes, the citations, I should say, but it doesn't read like an encyclopedia entry. You know what I mean? It reads like a person is talking to you and explaining to you about this stuff, and so like I enjoyed that. This section, in, around, and deep down in tarot, is basically a little bit of history on the cards, and then the different types of witches and how they work. Then we get into the majors, and the majors has different cards in the front, and she does say in the chapters where these cards are from. At first I was like, what card is this? What card is this? But it does say, you just have to read it. It's not like listed anywhere. There's no like footnote or anything, but if you read through the chapter, it will tell you eventually what card you're looking at here. So let's look at the strength card, since it's the year of strength. Let's look at that one. So what you get is you get this black and white image, some information about the strength card. So it says the strength card in the tarot tells us about the inner and outer strength we need to complete our objectives. We are never fully aware of the challenges life has for us, so cultivating this strength is a wise choice. While strength means different things to different people, the tarot can mean many things too: physical strength, emotional strength, psychic strength, strength against adversity, and more. And then she goes on through the traditional decks and what they represent. And then she says an interesting thing about the card is that it's often interchangeable with the Justice card, meaning that some decks feature Justice as the 8 card, while others have strength in this position. And this makes one wonder about deeper concepts of strength and justice, and which comes first. Talks a little bit about the Thoth deck. And then she says, when the card shows up in the reading, it can point to a time when great strength is needed. Hold your head up high and walk boldly into the situation at hand. So that would be like your guidebook section, right? Like what the strength card is. So then here we are for meanings and correspondences. The first section is the keywords. It says popular meanings for strength include strength, fortitude, perseverance, tenacity, instinct, courage, and freedom. And here are a few others for your magical workings. And then she gives you crystal correspondences, which for this one are malachite and tiger's eye. And then next to the crystals is a little paragraph about why she chose tiger's eye for strength. So this one says tiger's eye is said to enhance psychic awareness and ability. In conjunction with your tarot readings, it can assist in bringing clarity and differentiating between wishes and reality. Then she gives some herbal correspondences, but with the herbal correspondences, we don't get that little blurb as to the energies surrounding those and the uses surrounding these herbs. So I should say that the meanings aren't listed here, but in the back of the book, I'll show you where they are listed. So they're not missing; they're just not listed here. The animals, astrologicals, and music notes, I didn't find those, but these for the herbals, I did find those in the back. The magic and culinary recipes section was my favorite. She goes in, she gives you an oil for each one, and for all of them except for the devil. I don't know why the devil doesn't say, but they all say what the oil can be used for, except for the devil. I might have to write and see why, like what I'm supposed to use that one for. I'm going to show that one to you. If anybody knows, let me know. So look, because maybe somebody witchy out there is watching and might know. So this is, it just tells you an oil, it gives you ingredients and how to make it. And this one is use this oil for helping with healing, joy, and focus. So healing witches may also wish to check this one out. She gives you, this one is for fried chicken. So there's a fortitude fried chicken. And some information on how to make that. There's a culinary recipe on orange marmalade. And it says, this one is a recipe from her grandmother, and she's one of the strongest women she's ever met. So that's why she included this recipe. So she included the recipes for different reasons, not always because they help you bring you strength. This one is because it's from a strong woman in her life that she got this recipe. So various reasons why she included them, but I was excited to see all of the recipes. And then there's the journeying with the strength card. When you get into the journeying section, we're talking about this is like a little path working exercise. And then there's at the end always a spell. And this one has a strength spray spell. And so that's what you get for each chapter. Now, let's look at that devil one I wanted to show. Here's the oil. It's the Down and Dirty Devil Oil. It doesn't say why. Like, it doesn't say use this oil for this. It just says this is one of my few oil recipes that uses musk. Most musk that you can purchase commercially these days is synthetic. It doesn't need to be derived from animals. This is lucky for animal lovers like me who still want that earthy, powerful blend while knowing no sentient beings suffer in the process. It gives the ingredients, it tells you how to make it, but nothing down here says what the intention of it is. And it doesn't say up here either. Sometimes it'll say up here. What it says up here is enhancing your readings by making magical concoctions and feasts allows for a greater understanding of what the cards are trying to help you with. The devil card is connected to figs and black cherries, which are featured in the recipes here. And so that's all it says, but it doesn't say like use this oil for that, or that all the other ones say use this oil for this or that. This one doesn't. So if anybody knows, take a look at this one and let me know if you know what I'm supposed to use this one for. Because I'll make an oil now. I'll make an oil. I love this Jello shot recipe for the devil. I was like, yes. So now let's look at the numbered cards. In the numbered cards or the minor arcana, what you get is one chapter per suit. So you don't get anywhere near as much information as you get for the major arcana. You get one chapter per suit, and then it talks a little bit about the suit. And then for each of the cards, you get a little blurb as to kind of what the card means, basically. And then the court cards are all sectioned together, and you get a little blurb as well. Then you get an incense and some crystals for each suit. So for the earth suit, which were in here, the coins, you get a incense for the earth suit and crystals that are tied to the earth suit. And that's what you get for the minors. So there's 4 chapters for the minors, 1 for each suit. So the choosing a deck section gives some information about how to choose your deck. She gives some recommendations on decks that she likes and why, and what they're about and why she enjoys them. And then she gives some energetic cleansing, energetic hygiene spells for your decks. And then with the Your Cards and You section, it talks about how to use the cards, journaling, all that kind of stuff, shuffling, vision boards with decks. It gives some like advice on different ways that, like blessing your cards, tips and tricks on how to use your cards. The Tarot Altars and Shrines section talks about different types of altars that you can make and how you can set those up. It also gives information for different types of witches and how their altars might look like. For instance, this is the Fairy Witch Tarot Shrine, and she has specific information on if you're a fairy witch, what you might want to put in your tarot shrine, if you're a green witch, and so forth and so on. This section, crystals, herbs, and gardens, it's about crystals, herbs, and gardens, and types of crystals and herbs that you can use with your cards, setting up crystal grids and how to do that. She's got about 4 or 5 different grids that you can set up, that she's got information on here on how to do that, how to choose your crystals, where to put them when you're working with your cards. All that kind of information is in here. This is where you'll find the descriptions for all of those herbs that were in the beginning. So here's, there's like a little glossary back here of different descriptions of herbs and things. And then here is the tarot questions and spreads section. And there's about 12 spreads in here, different kinds of spreads that you can do and use. And then the back, there's a recommended reading section, which some books that she suggests. And here's the bibliography for her citations. And then the contributor biographies, what I was talking about at the beginning, where she talks about all of the people that she interviewed and quoted in this book. And that's the book. This is where you can write to the author. That's this one. This is a really cool book. I think it's nice to have all of this in one place. I'm really most excited about those recipes. I want to try a few of them. There's all different types for all different reasons. Some of them are magical and some of them are just to make some good food and help you understand the tarot. I think this would be great for anybody working on a deck and walk to be able to pull the information and the activities and the recipes and the correspondences from this book as you're walking through it be a nice reference to add to whatever else you're using as you're walking through your deck and walk. I think this would also be really great for card of the month. Like if someone's doing a card of the week or a card of the month, to be able to pull the recipes and the activities and the correspondences from this book every month, that would be a fun thing to do as well. I really enjoy the idea of these recipes. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely going to get into these recipes. I can't wait. Side note, very much in love with this cover. This is the Three of Cups from one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of Vampires. So when I pulled this out of the box, I was like, what is this? That's just a little side note for me, but that is the tarot every which way. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to put in the description box below where you can pick this up. You can pick it up from Amazon. I'll put the Amazon link down below as always. I am an Amazon affiliate, so when you use those links, it helps me out a little bit. All you need to do is click, add it to your cart after you've clicked the link, and then check out within the hour. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out a little bit, but you can also pick these up directly from Llewellyn because this is a Llewellyn publication. Shout out to Llewellyn for sending this over to me for purposes of review and so that I could share it with you. This has been fun. It's been fun. And when I saw this cover, I was like, ooh, what's this? I love this deck. So like I said, links will be below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody who you think might be interested in hearing about the book. Also, if you would like to see more from me, I have quite a few more books, and you can check my community tab where I posted a picture of some of them. I have gotten a few more since then, and you can let me know which ones you want to see. I'm taking from that list. Those are the ones that I'm doing first, but over the next month or month and a half, I will be reviewing all of those. And I have a few more as well. So there are going to be more book reviews coming. Subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss anything and all those things. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.